Welcome back to RuralVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith. I've got another property for you. This one is in Florence County, Wisconsin, and it's up for sale on RuralVacantLand.com. Justin Sleva's got this one up for sale, and let's jump into it and take a look. This one, it's in the woods. I'm calling it, cabin in the woods land, because it reminds me of where I grew up. I grew up in northern Michigan, and this looks a lot like northern Michigan. It's just the other side of the lake in Wisconsin. And it's got the same kinds of trees and the same kinds of ferns and just the same kinds of foliage and stuff. So it makes me smile looking at it. So Justin Sleva's information's up here on the website. It's his name and phone number, picture of him and his family, and really nice guy, smart guy, good guy to talk to. If you're doing land deals, he's a good one to call for financing on different things as well. So he's got this one. He's asking. It says 10,000 bucks on here, but as we get into the market, it looks like he lowered the price just recently to $9,500. So I'm guessing it's actually $9,500. I'll try to get the website updated by the time you see this, or by the time you're actually ready to go buy it. It should be $9,500. And we got some pictures of this property. It's this just looks like classic northern Michigan backwoods trails. Got some pine trees. You got some oak in here, or maple. That's actually maple, and some maybe some wild cherry trees. I'm guessing here, and some ferns. These ferns are all over northern Michigan too. They're really fun in the spring when they pop up before their leaves open. They taste really good. They got these little golden furs sticking out of them, and then they're just really tender shoots. So you just pick them off and chomp on them while you're walking through the woods. Here's a sign coming through. Private road, no hunting, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. They're trying to keep hunters out from shooting all the deer, keep some deer left for you, right? Meadow Hills, this looks like the turnoff. Looks like there's a phone line in there, and looks like this shaped property, maybe a triangle and a rectangle put together. I don't know what you call this, whatever shape this is, but it looks like there's maybe a barn and a motor home over here, and some two tracks going different ways. There's a home back in here. I'm guessing there's probably turkey in the area. There's probably white-tailed deer in the area. I'm sure there's squirrel, rabbit, raccoon, possum, skunks, porcupines, all those kinds of animals in the area as well. But the big game is probably going to be deer and turkey. Florence, little town of Florence, just up north. There's a lake down the road called Emily Lake. There's lakes all over the place. It's just like northern Michigan. The lakes just spattered all over. The glaciers came through here back in the day and tore it up, and it just left a whole bunch of places for lakes. So I think we're starting to do circles through. Okay, here we go. So here's some trees. Look at that. There's some nice trees and ferns just back in the woods. You could stick a cabin back in the woods. Just be a peaceful, quiet place to spend your time. Watch the birds come in. It's April. It's probably be chickadees and robins. Almost time for the robins to come in, start bouncing around, chasing all the worms. The chickadees, I'm sure, are going off like crazy. And the blue jays, probably blue jay sound going. And yeah, I miss that part of Michigan and Wisconsin. There's a birch tree here. It's a nice looking birch tree. This might be some jack pine. Sorry, I missed the phone call here. So there's pictures. There's just solid looking trees, woods, little trail drive up to the property. There's some poplar. These are poplar trees. That looks like might be a wild cherry tree, some maple. These look like maybe some white pine back in there. Some jack pine. Some kind of utility box. I'm guessing maybe a phone line or buried telecommunications cable of some kind. I doubt it's a power line. I think there's a power line going down the street near there, but maybe not right to it. There's a power line in the area, so they got to cut trees back to get the power lines in the area. They did that a lot in northern Michigan because you get these windstorms come through. Tree falls, takes out the line. All kinds of people are in trouble because it gets cold. The winter, no power to move the heat around, makes a mess. You gotta protect those power lines. So they do big swashes through the woods like this. They often have good trails to drive on underneath them. Make for great deer hunting. Deer like to come out here and graze in these power line trails. Okay, so I think we've done a full loop of the pictures. This is there's a map, interactive map on the website of this property, and you can zoom in and see that. Let's see if we got any street view up here. Oh, we do. Look at that. Okay, so let's see if we can see power lines and stuff. Yeah, there's a power line right there. So there's a power line right there at the foot of the property. There's a power pole. Should be easy. And then there's the telecommunications box right there at the tip of the property too. So it looks pretty easy to get the utilities going. I'm guessing it's really shallow to get water in the area. I mean, some of the places I was used to in Michigan with lakes around like this, the wells would be like 25 foot. Some of the, like my mom's old cabin, it's a hand dug well. I mean, it's like old school. You could pull it off if you wanted, but other places, what a lot of the farmers do is they'll do these hand spud wells. You could buy them at the hardware store, at least in northern Michigan you could, because it's all sand, and you just it's the same kind of tool you'd use to pound a stake into the ground, like a T stake for a fence, and you get sections of the thing and you pound it into the ground, and it's got a screen with slots in the bottom, and as you get it deep enough, it gets into the water table, and you've got a well, and you could put a hand pump on the top and start cranking it, the kind you'd do that, or you could get a electric pump and pump for real and go water whatever it is you're trying to do. I'm in Southern California. Boy, I wish I could pull that off here. Water costs a fortune. It's all sandstone. I wouldn't be able to slam a well in here. But it's a cheap, easy way to do it. Or you could hire somebody to do a professional well, get a deep one, cleaner one, get down to cleaner water. Probably the real way of doing it. He's asking $10,000, but as you'll see here pretty soon, I think it's actually $9,500. It's 2.5 acres, Florence County, Wisconsin. He's got GPS coordinates on the screen. Click on that; it'll give you directions to the property. Let's do that. I'll pull it up on a map. We'll see what part of Wisconsin we're in, because I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing it's the northern part, looking at the leaves and foliage and stuff. Legal description. It's got an easement. Overhead utilities at the lot. Water could be well. Contact Florence County with any questions. Sewer would be a septic system. Dirt road, zoning, open forest. You can build a house or modular home. RVs are allowed during building. You can apply for a permit for an RV to be on the property while you are building a permanent home. There's a 3-year limit on an RV permit. So it sounds like you can live in an RV for 3 years while you're building a home there. That makes it pretty easy. So $85 a year for taxes, 1,300 foot elevation, not in a floodplain. He's got the information pretty well filled out on this property. Thank you, Justin, for that. That's makes it so much easier to shop these properties. So here I pulled it up in Google, and the dog's next to me chewing on everything. I don't know how to get him to stop. We'll do it after the video. So let's take a look at that road again. Let's see. So there's turnoff. See, here's all those ferns in the fall, like after they've dried up. This is like after a first frost, because you can see the poplar trees are starting to turn yellow. I think the other pictures were more spring or summertime. But this is later on in the season when this street view was taken. Yeah, it's October. This was October of 2008. This street view was taken. You can see in October, it's already had a frost, and so the leaves are turning colors. There's a neighbor driveway, and it's just shots of the area. This looks like the kind of road you drive down in northern Michigan, and I'd be looking out in every field like this looking for deer. Morning and evening, it'd be deer standing off the sides and corners grazing on fields like that. It just looks like perfect deer country. White-tailed deer all over the place, I'm sure. You probably hide in trees like this and go out to fields like that to get some food. So I wanted to see what part of this state we're in. Let's make it north is north and south is south. So here's Florence. Oh, right on the Michigan border. Michigan's right there. No wonder it looks so much like Michigan. Really close to Escanaba over here, Iron Mountain. So we're a ways north, right by the Upper Peninsula border. Green Bay is south of here. Mackinac Bridge is over here. Mackinac Island is over here. That big one's not the Mackinac Island. The Beaver Islands. I used to go out to all these islands as a kid. Manitou Islands are beautiful islands. This whole area, I grew up just across the water over here. This side, right in here, Yuba, Michigan. So it's very similar climate, tree foliage, and that's why it's looking so familiar to me. So if you're interested in this one, take a look at it. And before I close down, I wanted to show you the market. So I pulled it up on Zillow. I pulled up this whole county on Zillow. It's called Florence County, Wisconsin. There's not that many properties for sale over here. The cheapest thing is like much smaller than what we're talking about. This is a 2.5 acre, the one that we're talking about, 2.51 acres. So 0.26 acres, a quarter acre is much smaller than what we're talking about. But it's $5,400. It's a little bit less. $6,500 for 1 acre. Man, birds are stealing my fish out of the pond again. Gotta get the dog out there to protect my fish. The $6,900 for 1.84 acres. And then this is the one. So $9,500. This is the same thing. They just did a price cut just recently. It hasn't been updated on the website. So $9,500 for 2.5 acres. This is the cheapest one on Zillow. For that size property. That bird is going crazy. You hear him? I wish I could put the camera on him. It's like yellow breasted fish catching bird. So there's the property. $9,500. Cheapest one in the county of that size. 2.5 acres. I think this is the same property. No. Someone else has a 2.51 acre property for $10,000 too. This might be the same property. I think this is the same property. No, this is someone else's property. Someone else has 2.51 acres for about the same price. You should probably go look at both of them and compare. And then the prices start going up from there. So this is the cheapest one of that size in the area by at least $500. And the nice thing about this one is you don't have to pay a realtor to do it. So these other ones, I'm pretty darn sure are realtors, and you got to pay a whole bunch of commissions and fees and all kinds of things. With Justin, you can just check out online. You can use your credit card, debit card, or ACH kind of banking account information and just go for it. He'll do the paperwork and get it into your name in short order, and it's your land. You can start using it like the same day. So makes it a lot easier, a lot faster, and just feel free to go take a tour of it. We've got GPS coordinates, actual APN numbers, and just describing it all out, because we're not trying to hide behind realtors or that need their commission and they hide weird stuff about it because you got to talk to them and pay them a commission to get it, right? So just straightforward, easy land. Florence County, Wisconsin. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, therrealvacantland.com. See you again in the next video.